I don't even know where to start, my friend. Every day, every moment, whenever I'm speaking live to you, I don't know where to start. This is something that I hope you understand. I have watched and sampled more, for the first time, more other shows, which I never did. I never really cared what other people, I thought the coverage was usually the same because nothing really happened. It's different now. It is completely different. Buckle up, my friends, and get ready because have I got a show for you. And again, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Harry Balls is actually a part of the show. And these people keep falling for this, and I don't know where to go. If you see the particular picture tonight, USAID represents the biggest criminal fraud conspiracy in world history, and heads will roll. Watch them walking off of a C-130 ostensibly to some type of perhaps prison facility in Guantanamo. Who knows? This is bigger than, I thought it'd be big. Not like this. Never, ever, ever. Let's get ready. First, quick mention, February 22nd, Cutting Room, tickets available. Look in the description section. I want to see you there. This is not stand up. This is not where you participate. You participate. How many? Thank you. You'd be surprised how many people. The audience is almost like an interaction. They tell you stop talking or don't be quiet. No, you're a part of this. Because I know what I'm doing. Anyway, that's what we're going to be doing. I don't wait until I get so excited with this thing because I'm telling you, I don't even know where to start. Listen, there are people right now who are producing bricks via bodily orifices. They have no idea. And when Elon Musk says, and we're going to be looking at a lot of people, I think I've got to cut this. Yeah, we're going to be looking at a lot of people who, they make a kind of a nominal salary, and they're looking through the entire group. Look at Samantha Power. Look at her. Or as people call her, Powers. I love what people. Anyway, look at her and Cass Sunstein, her husband, who came up with cognitive infiltration. In any event, heads are going to roll. They thought for the longest time they were somehow immune from this by virtue of their position. Well, it's not true. So get ready, my friends. We've got a show tonight. But first, this critical word. Have you ever wondered what happened to the legendary Chuck Norris? I recently saw a video he made, and I was shocked. He's in his 80s and still kicking proverbial butt and working out and staying active. And what's even more shocking is he's stronger, can work out longer, and even has plenty of energy left for his grandkids. Now, he did this by just making one change. He says he still feels like he's in his 50s, and his wife even started doing the one thing too, and she's never felt better. She says she feels 10 years younger. Her body looks leaner, and she has energy all day. Chuck made a special video that explains everything. And make sure you watch it by going to chuckdefense.com/Lionel or by clicking on the link below this video. It will change the way you think about your health. And once again, that's chuckdefense.com/Lionel. Click on the link in the description below to watch the video now. And you won't believe how simple it is. And just a reminder, the legendary Chuck Norris is a whopping 84 years old and yet has more energy than he ever has. He discovered he could create dramatic changes to his health simply focusing on 3 things that sabotage our body as we age. Watch his method by clicking the link in the description box below at chuckdefense.com/Lionel. Now, let me get to a couple of things. First and foremost, I want you to become conversant with by the way, Woody Allen did this. He would always end the ticket. He would always do this at the end of his speech for whatever reason. I want you to be familiar with this particular definition, which is critical that you understand. And it is referred to officially as the at the administrative state. I'm going to go right now to my friends at ChatGPT, administrative state, which is better than Google or anything, and a definition of what this means. We got deep state, police state, intel state, shadow government, ruling class, and administrative state. This is the problem. And this is it. Problems and dangers. Become familiar with ChatGPT and all. It's the greatest thing that anybody has ever seen. The administrative state refers to the vast network of federal regulatory agencies and bodies and bureaucracies that create and enforce policies, rules, and regulations, often with the force of law. It operates within the executive branch to an extent, but exercises a blend of legislative, executive, and judicial functions, sometimes referred to as the fourth branch of government. And the term is frequently used in the political, but as a dangerous. Here are the problems. Lack of democratic accountability. They're not elected. They're not subject to accountability by the voters. People push them up. Well, don't look at me. That's FEMA. That's USAID. Regulatory overreach, bureaucratic inefficiency and waste, torpor, judicial deference to agencies. This is, oh my God, this, I remember in law school when we had ad law, administrative law, I thought, oh God, this is the most sport. It was the most exciting. I had no earthly idea. There were two classes which surprised me. One was ad law, and second was admiralty. Admiralty was like, oh, that's fascinating. Law of the sea? Oh my God. Hey, hody. Anyway, this is administrative state. This is what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. I want to say, first of all, special hello to W.M. Fishman, who is a new member. Our good friend Freedom says, not only these fraudsters, Lionel, but the last 4 years under Biden's regime of deep corruption, not only here but abroad by many countries, the levels of lies and wasteful spending is steep. Absolutely. Concur 100%. Biden, Hillary, Obama, Nancy, and many others all need to be on that plane to Gitmo. I don't give a flying flip. They destroyed the USA. And they were a part of a system in which, let's take people like, take a Samantha Power, Chelsea Clinton to an extent. Chelsea Clinton, she got a lot of her money, but these people who come in, Nancy Pelosi maybe to an extent, see, there's always some, you always blame somebody. Samantha Power is my favorite. Samantha Power was the person who came in, she was allegedly an expert in torture and human rights. Her husband, this guy, Cass Sunstein, who is the biggest, the jadrul, how this guy conned people into thinking he's brilliant, I will never know. And the best, I love this. You're going to love this one. I'm doing a piece today. Well, tomorrow I'm going to be with well, I'll tell you about that. I'm going to be on her show tomorrow. I'll tell you after the fact. And there was this fellow, which is very interesting. There is this dude, this okay, I'm going to be on Redacted tomorrow with Natalie Morris for like in the afternoon. So she sent me this thing, and she said, we were talking about some things, and it was a very interesting tweet from this guy named Adrian Vermeule. He's a Harvard law professor. I said, oh, let me go. I said, oh, that's that jadrul who's with the other jadrul. And they speak so how do I say this? Not unintelligibly, but needlessly cryptic. They're like the Eric Weinstein. You know what I mean? They're just speak English. And he's a jadrul. Both of these two. They came up with this thing about cognitive interference and where they are cognitive interference, where they is it cognitive? They talk about a crippled epistemology. cognitive infiltration, excuse me. They said, for example, people who believe in conspiracy theories, they hold these conspiracy theories typically because of a crippled epistemology in accordance with which it is rational to hold such theories. But the best response consists of the government involving itself in cognitive infiltration of extremist views. Basically, they're suggesting that the government should be listening to chat rooms. And this was from if you're an Alex Jones fan, you remember this one. This was in 2008, I think, maybe. Yeah, 2008. So anyway, so this guy Vermeulen is his partner. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing it, but who cares? So when I went to look, he blocked me. You have not that it matters. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, but there's got to be a word in German to describe people who block you and you don't know you're blocked. It's like, what if there's a tree that falls in the forest and nobody knows? This is a Harvard law professor who basically wants to take on different, and he don't want me to even follow him. I don't even communicate with him. What pussies? Do you know what it is for a grown man to say, I'm going to block you? I don't block anybody. I'll ignore you. I don't want to see your face maybe, but there's people who block. Anybody who blocks. Now listen, sometimes if you're from some Nigerian law firm and you want to, I'm not going to do that. You know those ones. I need money. Seriously, have you been blocked by somebody? Why? Especially people I've been blocked by David Crosby, Oberman, Alec Baldwin, and these other people. I've never engaged with. Don't follow. I don't. Anyway, enough with it. Elon Musk is a genius, and this woman, this Dana Bash, who always looks like she's about to cry, she did it again.
In chief Elon Musk, who apparently has adopted the alias, at least he changed his social media handle to Harry Balls.
Excuse me,
this morning,
what was that?
Harry Balls.
I'm sorry, one more time.
Harry Balls.
I didn't catch it.
Harry Balls.
Wait a minute, did you say
Harry Balls?
But
Harry Balls.
This is CNN?
Harry Balls tweeted this morning.
Is that Finnish or
Harry Balls
or Norwegian?
Harry Balls.
Isn't this fun?
Harry Balls.
I just want to call people up.
Harry Balls.
Hi, how are you?
Harry Balls.
Yes, paging.
Harry Balls.
I'm sorry.
Tweeted this morning, democracy in America is being destroyed by judicial coup. An activist judge is not a real judge. Harry Balls.
Making sure.
Tweeted this morning, democracy in America is being destroyed by judicial coup. An activist judge is not a real judge. And as for the commander-in-chief,
let me tell you, and listen to me, and take this to the bank. It is almost plenary, the amount of power and authority the president has over foreign affairs and the like, USAID. This is his province. That's it. What the judges have said specifically were in dealing with objections to either the timing of the closure, the folks who, let's say, there was one judge who said, there's a difference. What was he said? There's a difference between closing down, let's say, shop in Syria and Bethesda. He kind of gave a little bit of a. So it's Trump's going to get all this done. It's not that they're activist judges. Yeah, maybe they're activist judges. Trust me, they're just a lot of these TROs. That doesn't mean that a president stops. He doesn't stop this in the midst of this. Was it Andy McCarthy or somebody gave a very interesting, they said when William O. Douglas issued he was I think at that time might be still the longest running SCOTUS chief. Anyway, but when he granted something regarding Vietnam, it was something to the effect that Nixon didn't stop bombing just because he granted this temporary restraining order. So just put it out of your mind. Forget activist judges. These have been appointees. Don't worry about it. It's not. No. You see where Big Balls, you got Hairy Balls, and Big Balls is now officially on board. Do you know there were kids? There were kids in World War II, 16 years old, 15 years old, who lied about their age to serve in the military. They gave their life at Normandy, Iwo Jima. Everybody, we laud their heraldry. And yet some 19-year-old computer whiz who says, I'm going to go through all of this and I'm going to pull out all of this nonsense. I'm pulling out all of this nonsense that is seen here. I think it's fantastic. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And God bless these people. I've never been this excited in my life. Ladies and gentlemen, Freedom, who's on a roll tonight, Freedom says, it's like a tree in the forest. When it falls, does it make a sound? Damn right it does. It's no conspiracy theory. I love your big ball humor, sir. Thank you. Elephantiasis. How about Jimmy Jordan? Jimmy Jordan's making some points here.
Instead of stopping the stupid spending, Democrats attack the guy who's exposing it. I think the taxpayers of this country would just as soon we stop spending their money on dumb things.
There you go.
Like what was the example from USAID? Some transgender comic in Ireland spending money on Bert and Ernie and Big Bird on Baghdad TV. I think they would prefer we not do that.
I think you're right, Jimmy.
Elon Musk is exposing in the federal government exactly what he exposed at Twitter when he purchased Twitter. Yep. What did we find out there? Big government was pressuring big tech to censor Americans. You don't have to take my word for it. We had the Twitter files. Oh, and we also had someone else in big tech send a letter to this committee and tell us exactly what they were doing. Mark Zuckerberg said the Biden administration was pressuring us to censor. We did it. We're sorry. We won't do it again. Told the whole world that in a letter to this committee. So Elon Musk is now doing that for the federal government. We think that's a good thing. And to understand the fundamental difference the left has with us conservatives. Democrats believe it is the career elected bureaucrats who are supposed to run the country. We don't think that's the way it's supposed to work.
Correct.
We actually think it's the people who put their name on a ballot who get elected by we the people who make the decisions. And the guy who got 77 million votes on November 5th says he wants Elon Musk working for him, the elected member who heads the executive branch working for him, every bit as much as the federal employees, the people in Treasury who are supposed to have all the answers, or in USAID who've been the career officials, working for him to expose stupid things our government is spending money on. And the Democrats are going to attack that guy? Go ahead. Go right ahead. But we know the real consequences of having this administrative state, these bureaucrats run things. We got two witnesses here who've lived it. Miss Wade and Mr. Smith. They're here to tell about how that had some impacted their business. So I appreciate the chairman having this hearing. This is exactly the kind of hearing we have to have. And I appreciate the work the president and his team are doing to expose the stupid things bureaucrats spend the hard-earned money of the people we get the privilege of representing. I yield back.
Oh, yeah, baby. Now, Ayanna Pressley she suffers from alopecia. And alopecia is nothing to laugh at. Nothing it's not life-threatening, but for a woman to lose her hair. So I don't want people making fun of her hair or lack thereof or whatever it is. There is one of the best, absolute best bluegrass, not a female bluegrass, well, bluegrass pickers is Molly Tuttle, who you should see her with Billy Strings and Emmanuel. Anyway, she has alopecia as well. So I don't want to ever joke about the fact that she has no hair. Or does, but I think it's kind of brave of her to say, this is my hair, and that's fine. That being said, Ayanna Pressley is full up, and you know it. Here she is when confronted with a very, very simple question.
A bit of umbrage here. I'll speak on behalf of my colleagues. I think I can say we are all willing to work with anyone who's serious about doing the work of censoring the American people and advancing progress.
Okay. Who are these people behind her, by the way? Whenever I see this, this looks, I'm sorry, it reminds me of Tiffany Henyard. It's like, who are these people? Well, they're standing now. This is, she's
But they are not serious.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough. All right, fair enough. Well, this is how serious she was when somebody approached her with a very serious question. Watch Ayanna just all of a sudden go mute.
Congressman, what do you have to say about the fact that FEMA just spent $59 million housing illegal immigrants while people in Western North Carolina lived in tents for the past 4 months? What do you have to say about that? Do you accept that?
I'm going over here now. Now I'm going to go over here. Why
do you accept that? Do you accept the fact that because Doge exposed that today, it sounds like you have a big problem with the fact that Doge...
I'm going this way now. Would you keep these people away from me? I don't know what to say. I don't have a speech.
Are you okay with that? Do you condemn the fact that Doge exposed FEMA for spending $59 million housing illegal immigrants today?
Look at this.
Do you condone that?
Excuse me, sir.
I don't know
who. I tell you what. I don't know who you are. Let's go.
Look at this.
You're in the way.
This is
I'm not in the way.
You are in the way.
Okay, get out of my way.
Spineless.
Oh, what's that? What's that look? What's that look?
Oh. I despise her. I despise her because you know what she doesn't have. I think you know.
Chief Elon Musk, who apparently Harry balls.
Wait a minute.
Harry balls.
Doesn't have what?
Harry balls.
One more time.
Harry balls.
I'm not sure.
Harry balls.
You in the back.
Harry balls.
Oh, on the right.
Harry balls.
In the left.
Harry balls.
Oh, yes. Say it every.
Harry balls.
Say it loud, everybody. Say
Harry
it loud.
balls.
Okay.
Tweeted this morning, democracy in America is being destroyed by judicial coup.
Thank you so much.
An activist judge is not a real judge.
There you go.
And as for the commander-in-chief...
Okie dokie. There you go. Now, let's see. How about the incredible Caroline Leavitt? Let's go back a little bit. Remember that jadrule of jadrules, Corinne Jean-Pierre, the one who said, I don't know. I just remember that the one with the mop on her hair. Another one. I don't know. She had the book. I said, I don't know. And there's no reason. She just lied. They asked specifically, did FEMA give that $59 or whatever $million to this? No, I don't know anything about it. She lied. Aided and abetted what amounts to, in essence, fraud. Absolute fraud. Now, that was her. They hardly ever had a press conference. Ducey would give her a hard time and she'd turn around and leave and say nothing. Compare her to Caroline Leavitt.
Welcome to the MAGA Minute. It's been a huge week here at the White House, and let's go over the wins President Trump delivered on behalf of you, the American people. On immigration, illegal migrant encounters between the ports of entry are down nearly 87%. On the economy, President Trump laid out a plan to establish a sovereign wealth fund to better invest the more than $5 trillion in assets held by the United States. He also proposed tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico and China, and those tariffs were swiftly paused after our allies agreed to step up and address these issues. We are streamlining USAID into the State Department. President Trump signed a historic executive order to ban men in women's sport. Lastly, President Trump is already making our military strong again. Army recruitment in the month of December, with the anticipation of President Trump's return to the Oval Office, hit a 15-year high. We'll see you for next week's MAGA Minute.
Can you believe this? Can you believe this? Do you think CNN can handle this? You think they knew anything about this? Hell no.
Harry balls.
That's right.
Tweeted this morning,
That's all they
democracy
care about.
balls.
That's all they know.
Balls.
That's all they know.
Harry balls.
I'm a
Harry
child.
balls.
I'm sorry.
Harry balls.
I'm a child. And they knew that. They knew that was saying, okay? I'm sorry. I'm sick. I've got a disease.
Balls.
That's right.
Harry balls.
I'm sick.
Harry balls.
There's no medication for this.
Harry balls.
I'm a child.
Harry balls.
What are you going to do? Go someplace else.
Harry balls.
Who was that again?
To Harry balls.
Line 1.
To Harry balls.
Yes, paging.
Harry balls.
Can I speak to
Harry balls?
Let's all call CNN. And by the way, can I call Harry Balls, please? I've been telling Harry Dangler Might be another one too. Dick Gazinia. I'm asking Elon. My favorite is Hugh G, the period, Rection. And I haven't, Elon hasn't gotten back with me about that. All right. I've got a problem.
To Harry Balls,
right.
tweeted
now,
this morning, democracy
and you know what?
in America.
You got it too. You know what? Because you're just as sick as I am. Don't give me this stuff like, oh, he's such your child. No, you're sick. You're sick too. Don't tell me it's my fault. I can do anything I want. I think it's funny. It's a news story. I love it. One hung low, Mandy lifeboats, Marcus absence, Max accent, in any event, Hugh McCracken. Okay. Now, here is my favorite, Stephen Miller, who is an animal. An animal.
I'd like you to say a couple of words about it.
Yes, well, as you know, Mr. President, since you issued your day one executive orders, border crossings are down approximately 95%. You talk to agents on the line. In their entire careers, they've never seen crossing days as low as what they're experiencing right now. The cartels, in fact, are enormously frustrated because they've never seen a clampdown like this before in American history.
Yep.
There are people who were working at Border Patrol back when it was INS in the 80s and 90s. They've never seen a day like this. That's because you've mobilized the 10th Mounted Division, the Marines, the entire U.S. military. They're erecting physical miles of barrier, temporary and ultimately permanent, every single day. You have all of your border agents pushed to the front line. They're not doing the humanitarian processing, quote unquote, that Biden was doing. They're doing law enforcement and national security. They're interdicting weapons and drugs. They're interdicting violent, high threat criminals. And the U.S. military is repatriating illegal immigrants at a pace and a skill that has never occurred before in American history. And those who are committing human trafficking and child trafficking are being prosecuted for felony offenses, and they'll be doing hard time in jail. There's never been a lockdown like what you have implemented through your orders and vision since you took the oath of office.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't he terrific? Spandex says CCP does not allow erections. You are correct about that. And Pilgrim Media says, not a new low. You're just misunderstood. Harry who? Very funny. Very funny. Let me go back and remind you of a fellow, and I want every one of you wonderful people, if you are not familiar with Milton Friedman is a mofo. You know what that means, right? Milton Friedman used to appear with Phil Donahue, Phil McCracken, Phil Donahue. There's a, by the way, my mother went to a school with a woman. I love this name, Walburga Snodgrass. I love that name, Walburga. I don't know what kind of a name that is, but I just love that. Norvell Feltz, great country music singer. Barnwell Gerst was one of my favorite. These are great names. That's a name. None of this Shalita Lashandra. No. Walburga Snodgrass and Barnwell Gerst. Come on, stop it. Milton Friedman, tonight, after we are done, look at your phone and just type in your YouTube, your search thing there, Milton Friedman. This is just a sampling. Again, like an hors d'oeuvre, an amuse-bouche, a little tidbit, a palate cleanser.
Otherwise, government will spend it. History shows definitely that the government will spend whatever the tax system will yield, plus as much more as it can get away with. And now, government is too big. Its programs aren't working. It's doing far more harm than good. We don't need any additional government programs. We need to get rid of the ones that aren't working.
He's correct. This is a realization of this thing called, ladies and gentlemen, the administrative state. And this has him going, Elon, he's got his kid. The kid's probably thinking, Dad, I'm so goddamn tired. I'm on your neck. I'm in the White House. Can I just be a kid? Would you quit, kid, please? But anyway, it's nice to see a father with his son. Here's a guy who works his ass off, sleeps on the floor, and brings his kid to him. What's wrong with Elon Musk? I don't know. Anyway, watch this.
Your detractors, Mr. Musk, what? Including a lot of Democrats, I have detractors?
You do, sir.
I don't believe it.
Say that you're orchestrating a hostile takeover of government and doing it in a non-transparent way. What's your response to that criticism?
Well, first of all, you couldn't ask for a stronger mandate from the public. The public voted, we have a majority of the public voting for President Trump. We won the House, we won the Senate. The people voted for major government reform. There should be no doubt about that. That was on the campaign. The president spoke about that at every rally. The people voted for major government reform, and that's what people are going to get. They're going to get what they voted for. And a lot of times, people that don't get what they voted for, but in this presidency, they are going to get what they voted for. And that's what democracy is all about.
Mr. Musk, the White House says that you will identify and excuse yourself from any.
I guess he's an African American. Would that be correct? Whatever it is. I love the guy. Can you think of any other time when you have said or thought to yourself, oh no, please, no, Elon, no, don't go after these people. What are you doing? Up the hell no. For the love of God, no. Now, coming up, I want to talk about another topic which people love to talk about, but misunderstand. And that is the JFK. But before that, this. Listen to this. New reports reveal that the average person has $8,674 in credit card debt. Plus, the total average consumer debt is a shocking $104,215 between mortgages, auto loans, student loans, credit cards, and unsecured loans. Unfortunately, without outside assistance, many will continue digging themselves deeper and deeper into the hole of debt. Now, I've advised and counseled friends and clients for years who want to take back control of individual debt about this secret weapon that has helped so many consolidate everything owed into one affordable monthly payment. They even help negotiate a settlement agreement that will allow you to pay less than the total balance. Listen, they settled over $275 million in debt, and they've helped people become debt-free in an average of 28 months. I've had such an incredible experience referring clients and friends that I wanted to partner with them here and introduce their services to you, my loyal Lionel Nation family. If you want a helping hand to get out of debt, I absolutely, positively, and strenuously recommend booking a free consultation now by going to nodebtwithlionel.com. Look at the address. Once again, that's nodebtwithlionel.com. Use the link I've provided under the title. Listen to me. You can take control and learn how to get out of debt now. My friends, let's talk about one of the greatest topics of all time, shall we? And this is important. This is absolutely important. That is the JFK assassination. Now, tomorrow, I'm going to be on my good friend Mark Simone's show on WA. I've got a big day today. It's on WOR, I should say. And Mark believes that, and he actually said this, and he wasn't apparently drunk at the time, but he believes that he believes that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. It was just Lee Harvey Oswald. That was it. It was just Lee Harvey Oswald. That's it. That's it. Lee Harvey Oswald. This is what he believes. Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. Swear to God. Now, there's one thing I know. I don't even think he acted, but I'll just go a step further. He was not the only person involved in it. Obviously, he wasn't involved. I don't think he was involved in it at all, but that's another story. So there are people who still love to believe this, and I love him like a brother. But when you're on conventional, I guess, maybe in certain circles, this is something you kind of want to, maybe, I don't know, you want to sort of, I guess, promote? I don't know. So anyway, so this, I forget her name, from Florida. She is announcing, you're going to love this, they're going to be releasing some information regarding the event. And it goes something like this.
He committed to declassifying the files concerning the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. A decision not just monumental, but pivotal. It is with profound honor that I have been entrusted by Speaker Mike Johnson and Chairman James Comer to lead the House Oversight Task Force on Declassification of Federal Secrets. Together with the help of the White House, our intelligence allies, the Department of Defense, the Department of Justice, we will be conducting investigations into the following: the assassinations of JFK, RFK, and Dr. Martin Luther King.
And MLK.
Unidentified aerial phenomena, also known as UAPs.
Whoa!
Unidentified submerged objects, also known as USOs.
Slower.
The Epstein client list, the origins of COVID-19, and the 9/11 files.
Oh!
This task force will be a beacon of bipartisanship. On the Republican side, Representatives Burchett, Boebert, Burleson, Crane, Gill, and Mace will be joining me, although I'd like to note that I'm expanding this to the entire governing body and will be allowing certain members to waive on. Our first hearing is set for March. The date will be announced soon, and we've already initiated close to a dozen communications with various agencies, to include Pam Bondi at the Department of Justice and the Secretary of State. This will no longer be a task force that makes bold promises only to fade into irrelevance or send strongly worded letters. This will be a relentless pursuit of truth and transparency, and we will not stop until the American people have the answers they deserve.
Never.
We will cut through the bureaucracy, challenge the stonewalling, and ensure that the American people finally get the truth that they have been denied for too long. If we are to endure and thrive as a nation, we must restore trust through transparency. The American people must be trusted to think for themselves, to form their own judgments from the truth that they are entitled to know. We've been treated like children for too long and kept in the dark by those we elected to serve us.
Yep.
It is my solemn duty to begin mending this trust, to form a new relationship between the government and the governed. Let us embark on this journey together towards a government that does not serve, but one that enlightens. That does not just serve, but one that enlightens. Trust through transparency that begins.
She is I forget her name, but she's very good. The worst reader. Absolutely the worst. Ricardo says, why is the DNC cartel afraid of auditing every failed federal agency? Oh, I know, it crushes their money laundering, extortion, and bribery schemes. Precisely. Precisely, Mr. Balls. Absolutely. Brad Rung says, actor Tony Roberts dies at 85. That's true. He was born in New York. Yeah, the son of radio. Yeah, that's right. I am sure you knew him. Indeed, we did. He left quite a legacy indeed. All right, my friends. Now, let me ask you this question. Do you believe that the United States government, number one, should reveal to the United States government everything as to, let's just take JFK. Everything. Do you? Yes or no? And the answer is people say, of course. Really? Everything? Well, what if it compromises either ongoing investigations, people who, what if there is something which proves to be embarrassing? So be it. So be it. So be it. Do you believe that they're actually going to be releasing anything? No. They're going to give you 25,000 pages. They're going to be, more. One of the biggest rackets is the JFK. I don't even listen to these people. They love minutia. And then we found out that J.D. Tippett actually knew Mrs. Balderdash, who rented the car to Marina Oswald's mother-in-law, her sister's mother, and then refused. And they love to give you, I've got the latest information. Who shot him? I don't know about that, but I know that Tippett, and there was this, and the man called Carmel, and JFK, and the movement of the 101st, and John Connally. It wasn't the wrist. And that's all they do. They do it over and over, and they tell you more, and they have meetings and conventions. Same thing with UFOs. Same thing with everything else. So I would do that 9/11 group. Oh, my God. I'm saying, would you folks get to the point? I don't understand it. I spoke one time at there's a group, it was at Cooper Union. It's very interesting. And everybody, and I said, they had a very nice person. He says, that building 7 could not have possibly fallen by virtue of what they said. I said, who doesn't know that? Do we have any information as to the official narrative? No. No. It's always, and how did they know? And how did Todd Beamer know? And who? And what about Muhammad Atta? And how come the passport was? I said, this again? Are we talking about the passport again? Who was responsible? I don't know who was responsible, but I know about the passport, and I know how. I know who the actual pilot of this and the 7 and how they. Do you understand what I'm saying? What is the question I want to know? Who were the shooters? Who? I don't want to hear about the landlady anymore. I don't want to hear about Tippett. I don't want to hear about Connolly and Connolly's wife and whether it was a Mannlicher Carcano or a Mauser. I don't care about the grassy knoll. Okay, fine. Unless you tell me who were the shooters. I have no idea who the shooters were. Who were they? Well, they're going to be. Is it Woody Harrelson? The Three Tramps? No, that's. Well, who was it? Was it Miltier? Was it? I don't know. Was it David Ferry? Everything? I don't know. Was it Mac Wallace? At least Roger Stone thinks it's Mac Wallace. It wasn't Mac Wallace. Who were the people? I like that Lucien Sarti. I don't know. He was actually an assassin. It was there. Kind of interesting story. Nobody can say, I can't tell you for sure. I don't know. Nobody confessed to it. What are you releasing? Release the paper. Here's his dental. Look, he went to the dentist. Oh, look at that fork. He had a crown. Who is this? This is Harvey Oswald's dentist. Oh, okay, really. He had orthotics. He went and he bought orthotics. He bought a rug. And he bought the curtain rods, and he had the chicken sandwich. We're going to get this. Go ahead and release it. Go ahead. Go ahead and release it. What are you going to find out? Nothing. Who writes it down in a paper? And you're going to find some over here. I guess people think there's this place in Washington called the JFK Files. Somebody's going to say, well, Army Intel had some files and this one had. They don't coordinate this. They don't put all of the files together. I don't want to ruin anybody's day. Ricardo says, embarrass who? The criminals in government? Goody gumdrops. No, there's nobody. Do you think anybody currently in government had anything to do with this? Seriously, do you think so? Do you think by any chance? I mean, this is what, 61, 62 years ago? They're in their 80s, they're dead. Who is going to be? Listen, I don't want to be a wet rag here, but what are you going to be releasing? Okay, go ahead and release it. Now, 9/11, when we talk about that, most people, that's still fresh. That's a good one. RFK, how about Bobby Kennedy? Bobby Kennedy should have been all over this, with all due respect. He's Bobby Kennedy. He's too busy talking about, the vaccine. What about your father? Well, I'll get to the father later. I'd be all over that. Before I talked about mRNA, I'd find out Thane, Caesar, whatever his name is, I'd be after that one. And MLK, what are you going to do? Who was it? Carlos or whoever this, for James Earl Ray. I remember I interviewed James Earl Ray one time on the phone, and he kept having to put quarters in. It was very sad. He was in prison at the time. Does anybody really, what? What are you going to find out about that? Do not be surprised. You don't want. If you found out the real truth about what Martin Luther King was, oh my, a womanizer. I mean, not a womanizer. They were wild. Remember, J. Edgar Hoover used to send recordings of him with affairs. I don't know how they recorded the room, but so let's get down to it. What do you think's going to happen with JFK? What they're going to bring up? They're going to have this stack. They're going to have some press conference, 25,000, and they're going to be scanned. They're going to be put into AI, right? Which is wonderful. Scanned and you can go back and through it, put together a narrative. Who ordered it? Who ordered the change? Who was it who said, hey, let's stop the car here, stop the car there, right in front of these buildings? Great story for the sniper. Who's not there? Well, how about somebody shoot something, or I don't know. But let's do this. All right, what are you going to do? That's what I want to know. Any idea on that? No, I don't have that one. Any idea of who did this? Who was responsible for this? No. And you're going to find out things like, what about all the people that were killed? Yes, there were all. What does that do? It doesn't help me at all with this. Who shot him? I don't know. Who? Oh, Gerald Ford. He moved the bullet hole. Okay, fine. Was Gerald Ford involved in this? No, I don't know if he was involved in it. Did Gerald Ford shoot him? No. Who did it? I don't know who shot him. That's what we're looking for. What is all this other stuff you're talking about? What are they talking about? And Epstein is that they had a woman today. It was tragic. She said how when she was a kid, she was attacked and hurt for a period of time. Did you know any of the people? Did you know anybody who did this to you, who had a name or was somebody that we would know? No. Okay. So that's bad. He's dead. I hope you sued the estate or whatever it is. Does anybody have here the name of anybody who say, I know that guy, that other than Ghislaine or Epstein? Anybody? There was that one woman who was at Virginia Giuffre who claimed Alan Dershowitz, and she changed her mind. I made a mistake. Okay, that was the time anybody. And then there was a lawsuit between boys. Remember that? This lawsuit. I don't know whatever happened with that. That was the only time anybody mentioned anything. And it turned out it was, she dropped it or settled, whatever. It's done. It's finished. It's through. What are you going to find out? Release the list. Okay, I was there, yeah. Here's a picture of me. Look at this. I remember hearing, I was watching the other night, a fascinating lecture on quantum computing. And one of the person who gave the lecture on quantum computing was a guy who was involved, who went to or was in an Epstein event, or he was paid to speak. Epstein loved scientists and loved academicians, and he wanted to be a part of Harvard. Remember, he had that Harvard t-shirt. Remember, he never went to school. He was at Dalton. Okay. So a lot of people who said, I just went because they wanted to pay me, and I paid, and they paid me, and I was talking about whatever. Werner, was it Erhard or whatever his name is, from Est? He did the same thing. There was an event one time, I think it was Lenny Susskind and Stephen Hawking, about black holes. This happened. What are you supposed to do? Zapruder, he had a direct line of fire, LOL. Zapruder, the film they gave back to him was not, that was tampered with by the FBI too. They even said that later. That Zapruder film, what does that tell you? Nothing. So let me go back to this. If I represented Epstein, I would say, does anybody have anything with him? Anybody here? How many girls? Hey, U.S. government. Yeah. How many girls do we have here? 100, 200, 300. What? How many? 4 or 5? She was charged with, this is Ghislaine, conspiracy, some kind of trafficking thing, and the other one was failure to appear at a deposition or lie at a deposition or something. It was nothing. It was as bad as the Diddy. Did you ever see Diddy? He's charged with conspiratorial, some type of a racketeering conspiracy by himself. What is he doing? So does anybody have? Hi, could I have a picture of all of the victims holding a picture of the famous guy that you say? There's nobody like that. Who? I got a book. I don't want to see the list. There's no offense in you going there. People say, I went there. There were parties. Anybody say I did anything? No. He had parties. Where was he on 70 what street? 60. Where was his mansion? 71st. People went there all the time. Ehud Barak. Oh, that's an interesting connection. I'd love to see that Israel connection. I mean, this is me. I'm just Ehud Barak, Les Wexner, him, Dershowitz, big Israel supporter. Classic honeypot, Mossad. We're not going to go there. Not now. No way. So what do you think you're going to hear? Here's the list. Here, take it. Here, take it. Read it. Go through it. Nelson says, Mr. L, been missing in action, but make sure to like your video. I'm dealing with my mom's mental decline, trying to stay focused, but hard. Love you. Oh, Nelson. That is terrible. That is absolutely terrible. My heart goes out to you because this is a woman who gave you life and you're seeing this. My thoughts and energy and positive thoughts to you, my friend. Going back to this other thing. Again, I'm not defending anybody. What are you talking about? What is this event? What is it? I got the client list. Here's a list. Read it. Bill Gates. Yeah, I was there. Bill Clinton. I was there. Okay. What was that? I was there. What about this? I was there. I didn't do anything wrong. Oh, here's Bill Clinton. Oh, look. There's Bill Clinton. He's getting a massage. You see that? He got a massage. Is that against the law? No. Okay. Prince Andrew. Oh, Prince Andrew. Well, you said you don't sweat. What did he get with Andy? Nothing. I think he sued or they paid or whatever it was. Okay. What are you going to do? Did they charge him? No. Did anybody charge him? Who got charged? Ghislaine Maxwell. You mean to tell me, U.S. government, you didn't charge anybody? I don't understand this. I would have done the very simplest thing. Bring in the girls. Victim 1, please have a seat. I'm going to show you some. This is a book. And there are pictures that we have of video frames of people involved in certain activities. And this was because we have all the videos. Oh, we don't have the videos? Who has the videos? Where are they? Who knows? You don't know? I don't want the list. You keep talking about the list. Where are the videos? The place was a sound studio. It was a recording studio. Where are the videos? Who's got them? If I don't have that, this is nothing. Oh, you don't have that? Well, where are they? You went in and you seized it. What happened? You don't know? Reveal that. The hell with the 9/11. You're not going to learn anything about that. Go ahead. You see how they're doing? You see how they're fooling you into thinking? They're not. And what do you think would happen if, I'm just saying, hypothetically, what would you say if all of a sudden you found out that, yeah, Israel, the Mossad, they got this? You think Trump's going to say, aha, we found out who did it. Israel. No way. There was another thing going around. I don't know how good this is, but they said that it was Ben Gurion that Israel, of course, everything's Israel. I say that sarcastically because everything is not Israel, but they said that somehow they were pissed off at Kennedy, and that one of the reasons why you don't want to hear this is that this will ruin any kind of God. There's all kinds of. I can play what if. But here's what I would do. assuming I had the films, I was okay, here's this one guy. Remember Khalid, not Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, what was his name? Khalid, KSB or whatever his name is. He was that guy who came to New York. Remember that? There was a woman in the hotel, he was from the World Bank or something. Anyway, they had this woman who said, that's him. That's the guy. Okay, but imagine this. Sit down, miss. I'm going to show you a book. And these are pictures of frames of everybody that we have evidence of in a book, book. Can you go through this? Yes. Oh, wait a minute. I know that, man. I know this one here. Did you ever have? Oh, yeah. How old were you? I was a minor. Okay. Would you put a little mark on it with a little sticky note? Okay. Would you? Good. Do you recognize that person? No. Would you recognize him again? Oh, yeah, absolutely. He said this, he said that, he said this. Okay. Well, that person is, and then we turn it over and it's somebody you know, somebody you don't know. Somebody is Bill Clinton. I mean, well, I'm not, who knows? Or she could say specifically, yes, it was so-and-so, and I remember their name. Okay, that's one, that's two, that's three. How many girls? 100? Got plenty of time. Go through this. So now we have how many defendants? How many suspects? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Bring in the next young lady. Have a seat. Do you recognize these? No, I don't. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Next one. Oh, that one. Or I know his name. His name was such and such. And usually people who go to these things are they feel invisible. So they know their name. Let's assume, how many women were there? What do you think? 1,000 to 100? Maybe since the beginning, they had these girls in apartments right near Bloomies. They had an apartment complex. So they were there doing whatever they were supposed to do. So there might be 20, 30, 100 over the years. I don't know. Was this went on for decades? I'd say maybe 100. Let's just play it safe. 100. That's lowballing it. You mean to tell me that out of 100 alleged illegal activity, you got Ghislaine? That's it? Come on. And everybody keeps saying, can we see the list? Take your list. Go ahead, look through it. I went there, yeah. Is there a law against that? No. Did you see anything? No. Anybody mention me? No. Do you know how many women went there and family? Who was it? Dershowitz said, I think he was there with his family or his wife. I mean, it wasn't this bacchanal all the time. Now, Bohemian Grove, that might be worthwhile. So I don't want this. I've been saying this since day one. This is like a red herring. They're throwing you off. They're dangling something, hairy dangler. They're throwing something, they're dangling something, and they're wasting your time with this stuff. I don't understand this. JFK, who shot him? I don't know. Well, what are you showing me these files for? I don't know. You go look through them. Who shot him? I don't know. 9/11, good luck. Oh, please. UAB, if you think they're going to break, if you think all of the information is there about what do we know about, now you might see something from UFOs, maybe some cover-ups, maybe a little bit of Roswell. We know a lot of this stuff already. What would you like to know? Do we have them? Do we have the craft somewhere? Do you think they're going to tell you? Do you really? Daniel Williams says, too much buildup on this Epstein list. People are going to be let down. How does Epstein get his money? Maybe USAID. You know what? That might be good, but it's also, that could be good. Les Wexner. This is the guy who was I mean, they know this. I mean, this is old news. What do they think they're going to get? Nothing. Let's go to the UFOs for a moment. What do you want? Do you know who has the highest top secret? Do you think? Now, this is what I've always heard. You tell me if I'm wrong. Everybody, you can go to Washington, bump into somebody with a top secret clearance. There's like 1 million people with top secret clearance. It means nothing. Now, above that is need to know, compartmentalized. And there was a story I read years ago about these people. They had the zebra badge. And the only ones who could be in this room had to have this zebra. And it was like a 5-letter word: zebra, ultra, umbra, cobra, I guess. Anyway, those were the ultimate. And there were some levels that the president didn't know. The president. So what do you want to know? Do we have one of the craft? Do we have them? Don't give me any tic-tac stuff. Don't give me any gimbal shots. I've seen all those. Do we have the craft? Yeah, where is it? Can I see it? You gonna show me that? Have you talked to them? Do you have their picture? Can I see one? You got a picture of them? Yeah, of course they do. Of course they do. You say this happened, right? Phil Corso said they got him the day after Roswell, his book. There were people who said we found them. That supposedly Area 51, Roswell was when they were. There may have been some kind of it was a lightning storm or something. Their whatever their systems might have been askew or knocked out, and they crashed and they found the bodies. And they have them. That's the story. That's what it is. And they supposedly took this stuff and they retro-engineered it, and they got night vision goggles from the eyes. They got fiber optics, the transistor before that, and telepathy and all this other kind of stuff. And they're trying to figure out anti-gravitic. You going to show me that? Show me that. If you're not going to show me that, don't give me another grainy photo. Don't give me another orbs. What are you going to show me? You're not going to show me that. And why do you think they're not going to show me that? It's because we don't want Russia to know we have it. We don't want China to know we have it. Why are we going to let China know we have this? Why? Make them wonder. Make them wonder. We are so stupid when it comes to China. You know, my favorite one is to go, hey, China, you know what those weather balloons were? Weather balloons. Weather balloon. China's got Do you know the satellites, how advanced they are? Quantum computing, they're beyond everything. They can read your license tag, your wristwatch from a satellite, and they had a weather balloon. You think, come on, but it was kind of fun. Do you want us to say, hey, we got them? You think we're the only one who has them? Do you think that what? They like to come here? They only like to hang around Kansas? There's some guy in a trailer in some double wide in the middle of nowhere with bib overalls to do the old anal probe just here? Is that what you think? Other people have them. Did you ever see the committee report? France, Iran, the one, remember the pilot who tried to chase one of them? We're not the only ones. We're going to say, hey, we've got one of these things. No. China says, oh, you've got one? Oh, you know how to do that? No, we don't know how to do that. We're just showing everybody, you know. Why are you showing people? Because we want full disclosure. You think we should let everybody know we've got it? Yes or no? Trump found out that Trump said, because Trump, I love the guy, but sometimes he said, we're going to get to the bottom. The first week on there, I'm going to tell you everything about the drones in Jersey. What did Caroline Levitt said? Well, there's some nothing to worry about. It's not enemy. And it's some hobbyist. You know, they're flying around. Come on. Would you please stop it? Ricardo says, CCP has top clearance in the DNC. Well, ask Swalwell about that. That's the guy, too. Let's find out who's a spy. So listen, I don't want to ruin anybody's parade, but you're not going to find anything. And I don't think we necessarily do want to. UFOs? No. Do you think everything should be made available? Do you really think that? Do you really want to do that? You think anybody else does that? You don't think Russia knows about that? Here's one for you. Here's what I'll do. And I've got my friend Vinny. I don't know if he's anywhere around here. I want to put on something that says, I want to have a secret, or I want to have something that says whether we landed on the moon or not. How many people here believe we landed on the moon? Yes or no? Tell me. Yes or no? I'm going to wait. I want to see this. I want to, yes or no? Number one or number two? Number one or number two? Yes is one, two is no. You believe we landed on the moon? Tell me. I'm serious. Don't tell me. Because I thought so, but I've never, I'll tell you my problem in a moment. Anybody think so? Yes, we landed. We landed. We went through that Van Allen belt and all this with that thin. Did you see the suit? Oh my God! They destroyed all the information. They had the computer that they had was okay. I'm just saying. I honest to God, until somebody brought it up, I have no idea. Here's my story. Here's my story. Do you believe that if we did not land on the moon, that Putin knows about it? Putin has everybody there. The best. Russians were the first one with Sputnik. Remember Yuri Gagarin, first woman. Laika, remember the dog? I think they put up a chimp. They put everything up there. We couldn't get one off the ground. Nothing. They were like putting everybody. Okay. Something tells me Russia will probably have, like, hey, Yuri, yeah, come here. What do you think about this? It's nonsense. Why? Well, that's so-and-so. Or I found out about that. Can you prove the U.S. didn't do this? Absolutely. Good. Hang on to that. Hello? Yeah. Let me talk to the president. This is the president of Russia. I'll wait. Hey, Johnson, Lyndon. Yeah, listen. We know it's all bullshit. Yeah, we know it. All right. Well, we know about the Yeah, we know that. Now, we're not going to let anybody know, because that would be something, wouldn't it? If all of a sudden you're one small step for man, one small step for bullshit. We know that Kennedy's dream, July of 69, had to do it before 70. We'll let you go with that. But understand, we got proof it didn't happen. And how they kept, with all of the hatred during this, how if they would have had to have known, and they would have loved to have said, guess what? Never happened. Ha, ha, ha. But they didn't. Why? Why? I don't know. Doesn't make any sense. Maybe they did. I don't know. I never had any doubt until everybody. I got my one friend, Vinny, keeps sending me emails. What about this? I go, Jesus, another one. There's another one. There's another one. I never thought about that. Kubrick, they got rid of him. Eyes Wide Shut. Right before. I don't know. Could be. And I will never be one of these folks who says, I believe anything. I don't know. Can I honestly say 100%? No. No. Let me ask you a question. Could they have hidden this if they wanted? Or could they have arranged a fake landing? Damn right they could have. Absolutely. Wag the dog? Oh, absolutely. Sure they could have. So it's not impossible. It's not impossible. It's a different story today. So anyway, there's a lot of stuff to think. What I want you to say is don't get all bent out of shape. President Trump's having a ball. He's going after this one. He's going after that. He's going after this. He's going to get rid of this one. He's going to subpoena this one. He's going to go nuts. $8,000 screwdrivers to maintain LEM. Okay. Well, yeah. Listen, that was a big money maker too. That was a big. When I was a kid, they always brought in the TV in Catholic school. Well, we're landing, and I remember I said, "Wow!" And they brought in the big TV on this big tray, this big thing with wheels. It was like a big machine. And they put this big thing on there, and we had this room. This is in Florida with no window shades, so we couldn't even see it. It was like the light. I said, "Can you turn it this way?" Or anyway, so we're looking, and this is when space travel meant something. Wally Schirra, Walter Cronkite, it was a big deal. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if, because the bigger the con, the easier it is to pull off. Johnny Mass says, after 5 years of trying, NASA still can't get the new Artemis engine to work on the moon. We did this in 1969. Don't think so. And what about these poor people who were stranded in space? What about them? I hope somebody will say, excuse me, can we get them? Do they have to? What if we get one of these like Neil deGrasse Tyson geniuses and get these poor people down? They're going to come back and they're going to, they've been weightless for how long? They may not make it. Did we just forget about them? I don't understand this. I don't get this. That's the first thing I would do. Get them back. Before we talk about the JFK assassination. All right, enough of this. I've said enough. Do you understand this? I have said enough. God bless yous. Why yous? You rat bastard, you crazy. It's fascinating, is it not? I think it is. I think it's extremely fascinating. In any event, dear friends, in any event, I thank you for your attention. We have had quite the evening, this evening. An hour and 11 minutes I've given you of my life. I thank you. I want to thank WBM Fishman, our new member. Freedom, thank you so much. Pilgrim Media, thank you so much. Spandex, thank you. Ricardo. Brad Rung, ladies and gentlemen. Nelson A. Nelson, my best to you and your family. My thoughts are with you, dear friend. And your beloved mother. Daniel Williams. Johnny Maz, the Spaz. Don't forget, follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors. Hang on. Ricardo says, imagine computers, cars, airplanes still in 1969 like our Saturn technology. Interesting. Mrs. L, by the way, was on today. Tremendous show with Nancy Grace. Owns it. It's unfair how she just manhandles people. I said, honey, you gotta take it easy. And another thing, I said, please. You got to catch that. Look at her Nancy Grace episodes. You can't believe how good they are. Go to Lynn's Warriors and watch. She's also going to do a live tomorrow, live at 5. Keep you aware of that. So make sure you go to Lynn's Warriors on YouTube and subscribe right now. We need 4 more, just 4 more to go to our next level. Next level. And I think these people are actively working overtime to suppress what she's saying because it's so discourteous to the rancid satanic powers that be. That's my opinion. Don't forget my other channel, Lionel Legal. And also, thank you for subscribing to this, Lionel Nation. All right, dear friends, have a great evening. I thank you so much for your attention, your being here, and your generosity. We'll see you tomorrow. And until then, my friends, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you. Da, da.